We learned about the passing of Bianca Castro-Rebejo, who, of course, everyone knew as the incredible Jiggly Caliente.
It's a lot to take in. Such a vibrant personality.
Absolutely. And for anyone needing a quick reminder, she first burst onto our screens in RuPaul's Drag Race Season 4 way back in 2012.
And then came back for All-Star 6 in 2021. Didn't she also judge?
She did. A main judge on Drag Race Philippines starting in 2022, guiding a whole new generation.
Right. And outside of drag, too,
Yeah.
she had that role in Pose.
Yes. Veronica Ferocity on FX's Pose, such an important show, and she was part of that. The initial reports, they're saying her passing came after complications from a really severe infection.
And also the recent news about the amputation of most of her right leg.
Yeah.
It sounds like she was really fighting something serious.
Yeah, it does. So today, we want to kind of parse through these first reports, look at the reactions, and just try to understand the impact, the legacy of Jiggly Caliente based on what we know right now.
It feels important to do that. It highlights, I think, the vulnerability behind these, larger-than-life figures sometimes.
Definitely. Her influence was so broad, wasn't it? It wasn't just drag.
No, not at all. Reality TV, acting, judging internationally. She really crossed over.
The first real information came from her family. They put out a statement on her Instagram.
I saw that. It was very moving.
It really was. They talked about her luminous presence, her infectious energy, fierce wit, and unwavering authenticity.
Those words, they just ring so true, don't they? That feels exactly like the Jiggly everyone saw.
Totally. And they mentioned how she touched countless lives through her art, her activism, just connecting with fans.
That unwavering authenticity part really stands out to me. And, an entertainment world that can sometimes feel very manufactured, being genuinely yourself, that resonates deeply. It creates a real connection.
And you see that reflected immediately in the tributes pouring in from other queens, right?
Definitely. The community response has been huge.
Laganja Stranjo called her a kind, caring soul. Bugga Chip said she was one of the kindest, sweetest souls.
It's that consistent theme of kindness, isn't it?
It really is. Cheryl the Queen we will love you forever and always. And Tia Kofi mentioned reaching out to Jiggly specifically for advice and support.
Wow.
These aren't just, standard condolences. They feel really personal, like a genuine loss within that community.
Yeah, that emphasis on kindness and support from her peers, especially in such a competitive environment like drag.
Right.
It says so much about her character, how she managed to be competitive, but also, warm and supportive. It's quite something.
Let's talk about that drag race journey for a minute. Season 4, that's where many of us first met her.
Placed 8th, I think.
8th, yeah. But the ranking doesn't tell the whole story, does it? Think about that moment with LaShawn Beyond.
Oh, this is not RuPaul's best friend race moment. Iconic.
Totally iconic. And Jiggly was right there. It showed her personality,
Yeah.
Not afraid to speak her mind, even when things got tense.
Exactly. It wasn't just the line itself, it was the conviction behind it. She said something a lot of people were probably thinking about, competition versus friendship.
Yeah.
And even though it caused friction then, it became part of drag race lore.
Yeah.
Shows how she could create these memorable, cutting moments.
And then coming back for All Stars, becoming a judge in the Philippines.
Yeah.
It shows her lasting influence in that world. She evolves.
From a competitor to like a respected figure, a mentor.
Yeah. And then there's the acting side. Pose, playing Veronica. That show is so important.
Hugely important for telling the story of New York's ball culture, LGBTQ+ history.
And having her be part of that narrative on a major network like FX, that was significant visibility.
It really was. It showed, I think, how talent from the drag world was starting to get recognized more broadly, breaking down barriers.
And her performance felt authentic too, given the show's subject matter.
Right. Plus, she popped up in other shows too, didn't she?
Yeah, Broad City, Search Party, showing her range beyond just drag performance.
Versatile.
And then personally, a huge moment was in 2016 when she came out publicly as transgender.
Yes, that was a big step. Sharing her truth so openly.
And using that platform for advocacy. Co-hosting Translation in 2020.
Which was the first talk show on a major network with an all-trans cast, right?
Exactly. That's a massive step for representation. It shows her commitment wasn't just personal, it was about community.
Absolutely. Using her visibility to push for broader understanding and acceptance, that takes real courage, especially in the public eye.
It really does. We should also mention her music.
Ah, yes, the album THOT Process in 2018.
Yeah, another creative outlet. It shows she wasn't just one thing,
It really highlights how multifaceted these artists are. It's not just the runway. It's music, acting, advocacy. The whole package.
To make it a bit more personal, her birth name, Bianca Castro Arabejo, born November 29, 1980.
And her background? Filipino-American. Moved from the Philippines to Queens, New York as a kid.
That Queens upbringing, that Filipino heritage, it must have shaped her perspective, her art.
No doubt. Adds layers to her identity. And the stage name, Jiggly Caliente.
From Jigglypuff the Pokemon.
Yeah. It's such a fun, sort of playful detail. Speaks to that infectious energy the family mentioned, maybe. A bit of lightheartedness.
Totally, it fits.
And then circling back to the recent difficult news.
Yeah, the reports about the hospitalization, the severe infection.
And the amputation happening just days ago, around April 24th, apparently.
It paints a picture of a really intense recent struggle.
It does. It adds that layer of, well, human vulnerability behind the public persona. Makes the loss feel even more sudden and tragic for those close to her.
There's just no question this is a huge loss. For entertainment, for the drag community, for fans everywhere.
And those words keep coming back, don't they? Infectious energy, wit, authenticity.
They really do. The connections she made seem so genuine.
It feels like she had that rare ability to be both really entertaining and deeply real at the same time. That leaves a mark.
And her family's words, saying her legacy is one of love, courage, and light.
That's beautiful.
And that the joy she shared and the space she helped create for so many will remain forever. That feels like a perfect encapsulation.
It really does. It's not just about her performances, but about the community she helped build, the inspiration she provided. That endures.
So as we wrap up this initial look, maybe something for you, the listener, to think about is that multifaceted impact.
Right. An artist like Jiggly navigating reality TV, serious drama, advocacy.
Yeah.
All with this apparent strength.
How does her story, even just from these early reports, maybe shift how you see drag artists contributing to culture, to social change?
Yeah, and what does it make you reflect on regarding authenticity? The power of just being yourself, and the importance of creating spaces where diverse voices, diverse experiences can truly be heard and celebrated.